Hello, everybody. So let's talk about the week ahead for the week of November 20th through Sunday, Monday, November 20th through Sunday, the 26th. This is going to be a very lots of ups and downs this week, as there's going to be a lot of astrological activity as the moon and the sun and Mars change signs throughout the week, and so it's just going to bring a lot of extra energy and movement that's going to be happening on a day by day basis this week. So let's get into it, yeah? So on Monday, the 20th, early in the morning, around 9:30 or so, the moon is going to be moving into Pisces, and that's going to have a nice, when the moon is in Pisces and the sun is in Scorpio, it brings a nice harmonic aspect overall throughout the time that the moon will be in Pisces for that next couple of days. However, as soon as the moon goes into Pisces, it's going to be, um, also trining Saturn, and so that moon trine Saturn that's going to happen at 10:44 a.m. is going to have a little extra. It can come across a couple of different ways. It can feel a little extra restrictive. It may be an opportunity to begin framing out your dreams. It can feel like a fleeting depression. It can feel like things are just, you're losing some freedom. It can also be a really good time to put some structure around your emotions and the way that you're feeling, um, with whatever that means for you. So so that can come across in lots of different ways. However it comes across, it's going to happen fairly quick. So once the moon gets far enough past the Saturn aspect, it's going to feel a little lighter, except for the sun sextiling Pluto later in the day. So that can bring a little bit of extra light to hidden topics that may come to be. So that could also just be um, digging in and finding something that you hadn't seen in a really long time, and just shedding light on some of those, older ancestral type moments. Maybe you find an old picture of someone that you love or that you haven't thought about in a really long time. Can be things like that as well. And then also later on in the evening, Mercury and Sagittarius will be trining um, Chiron and Aries. And so that can bring some communications around wounded old wounds and topics. So it can also be a great time to journal on some old experiences that may have some emotional weight to you, for you, that you're just feeling. And so it's just when Mercury, planet of communication, aspects Chiron, it's it's a creative aspect. It's a creative energy with them both being in fire signs, and that trine is harmonious. And so it could be a great time to do some art around healing old wounds. So it's going to be later in the evening on Monday. So we may not be able to take advantage of it in that way. However, something to be able to think about and plan on. All right, let's move into Tuesday. So Tuesday afternoon is going to feel a little busy. So the moon is going to be squaring off with Mercury in the afternoon after lunch, and so that our communications might be misunderstood. We may have challenging conversations. Those Thanksgiving plans and who's going to be doing what for who and whom. There might be some bit of entanglement there to be able to watch out for. So if your communications begin to feel a little tingly um, on on Tuesday afternoon, just give it some time. Once again, the moon moves fairly fast, so it won't take too much time for it to move past that. So you may want to clear up and just firm down anything that you had planned or discussed during that time later on, just to make sure that your communications were received with the intention that you wanted them to be. So just something to be looking out for on Tuesday. Also, Tuesday evening, Mars is going to be sextiling Pluto, and so that'll give an opportunity to go a little deeper. And um, we may want to put some action around uncovering some things. We may want to, maybe there's some old stories that we've had within ourselves that we just really want to uncover and release. So this could be a really good time to um, dance or do martial arts or do some yang activities. When we go into those states of like dance, for an example, in this type of with this type of energy, it can really help us uncover deep layers within ourselves as we just go into that place with intention. It can help us unravel old stories and be able to work with them a little bit more deliberately. We may find that there's just a layering, like a going deep within the layers effect. So it's important to really put some physicality. So Mars likes physical action. Otherwise, it might burst out in other ways. So if we give it the physicality that it needs, then it can be in a more productive way that it comes through. All right, so moving on into on Tuesday, also wanted to mention that the moon is going to be sextiling Uranus, which when the moon sextiles Uranus, that can bring in some um, uncertainty or some ungroundedness that may be happening, and so all right, so also on Tuesday, the moon is going to be sextiling Uranus, so this might bring some out of the blue ideas or things happening, emotional disruptions out of the blue, or even just some um, out of the blue moments that of gratitude, that can be coming your way as well. So with Uranus, it's hard to say which side it's going to come. It's just a matter of unexpectedness. So there may be some unexpected happenings later in the evening on Tuesday. All right, so let's look at Wednesday. Wednesday, the 22nd, is going to be a very, very big day astrologically. The sun goes from deep, dark, brooding, intense Scorpio into fiery, creative, sage like, travel loving, adventure focused, socializing Sagittarius. So there'll definitely be a big shift on Wednesday morning as the sun shifts signs for the next 30 days. So that is going into Thanksgiving and into the Christmas season is absolutely Sagittarius season. It's joyous, it's jubilant. We're looking for all of the things that we're grateful for. We've got just thinking about higher causes and that spirit of giving, which is very Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. So that Jupiter like loving to give gifts and spreading joy. It'll be a wonderful month of that. So going into the morning, just actually overall the majority of the day, it's going to have a there's going to be a lot of Pluto energy going on. And that's going to just really, it's going to really be bringing some depths to our just how we're feeling. We just might not, even though the sun is feeling extra joyful, it still emotionally might feel a little heavy, and intense. We might be feeling some emotional way or going through some things, that just are carrying on with us. We might feel a little depressed or just under the weather. It's just, we just might feel a little extra icky. Great time to be able to journal those thoughts and being able to just see what's in those shadowy places. That's really what that work is there to do. So, while the moon is hitting Pluto, and then later on, it's going to be going off and hitting Mars. So when the moon and Mars comes together, it really just begins to put some action, the emotional action into place, and just that heart action, happening. And so we just may have like an extra zest in our step and a little extra, pressure. We might feel a little bit more pressure emotionally to get some things done. We might want to just be mindful of not coming across too intensely or, overbearing others emotionally. So that might happen. So just be mindful of just how we come across in that way. Also, Venus is going to be opposing Chiron. And so that, also, so on Wednesday, we might have this tug of war between, my emotional needs and someone else's. And that might feel a little tough. But soon the moon will be going into Aries, and so in the early afternoon, that should definitely shift things up. We might then have like some creative, fiery gusto to really get things done, getting our house in order, getting our shopping list taken care of. All of the, extra fiery, creative energy will definitely be hitting by Wednesday afternoon. So it'll be a great time to just really add some push to doing whatever you need to, because it'll speed up. The energy is going to speed up quite a bit. And then when the moon, then will trine Mars also in the afternoon, and so that's also going to just really help with the day overall, especially towards, being able to be stepping up in any type of leadership role, just being able to be strategic in thinking and making things happen. So, really good with those sorts of things as well. All right, so moving into Thursday. So, Thursday afternoon, the moon is going to be conjunct Chiron, and so another opportunity to just feel into our emotions. We might have some, with Thursday, Thanksgiving, it's going to feel a little added emotional things happening. Just family coming over, those old stories might bring up some old wounds. So just know, if you're feeling that way, give yourself some grace, give yourself some space, maybe go for a little walk, maybe journal, or just find a way to decompress a little bit. And it's not going to take long before this energy moves on. And so, when it does, you'll be able to get back into the swing of things. And then later on in the evening, around dinner time, 6 p.m., the moon is going to be opposing Venus. And so this is also going to be another opportunity to kind of go, my needs, your needs, our needs, where are they? Being able to, do I need to sacrifice what it is that I want to do for what everybody else wants to do? And can I do that with grace and just allowing that to happen without, feeling some kind of way? So we just might want to have the extra time to ourselves, So that energy can be a little tricky. But then later that evening, the moon is going to be trining Mercury, which would be, so that's going to happen around near almost 11 p.m. And so Thursday, later in the evening, great time to just have some of those good creative conversations. It might bring some new insights and ideas to in our conversations. When we were feeling that way earlier in the day, it just might be a great time to just talk about it in a more even keel way. So it can really just help out. This fiery trine that's going on can really just help. We might want to just put our communications out there in a new creative way, and that can really help with being able to move forward with something that you are working on. All right, going on into Friday. So Friday morning, about 5:14 a.m. Friday morning, about 5:14 a.m. Mars, who has been in Scorpio for the last several weeks, is going to be moving into Sag. So Mars loves Scorpio. It's been a very good place for him. He's not so happy into Sag. It's a little fiery there for him. However, it's kind of like, the action kind of goes up into smoke as opposed to having the concreteness that Mars likes to have in Scorpio. And so there'll be another shift with that energy of Mars being in a fire sign. So we will feel that shift. We'll feel that shift of the sun in fire and Mars in fire, as well as the moon in fire. So Friday is definitely going to be a fiery day. It's, on fire days, it can be like really creative. It might be a great time to just pull out some crafts or paints or just things that you want to make or create, whatever that means for you. So that creativeness that you want to explore, Friday morning is a great time to do that. So great time to just come together in that way. Before the moon goes into Taurus around 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So when the moon goes into Taurus, it's going to change it up from that fiery creative passion into the moon loves Taurus, and so it'll be more into a nurturing. The nurturing will come out. We might just want to go bake another pie, or we just might want to spend time with the people that we love. Maybe just take a nice hot bath, or just do things that just nurture our soul. So self-care practices when the moon is in Taurus would be really, really helpful. So also in the afternoon, the moon is going to sextile Saturn. So that might be a great time to get under the weighted blanket and take a nap. You might feel a little tired. So just something to be aware of. But again, that's not going to be an energy that's going to last too long. All right, Saturday on November 25th. Saturday is a fairly light day, not a whole lot going on, except for the moon is going to be coming together with Jupiter. So this is just going to bring added harmonious feelings and just extra feel goodiness, extra nurturing and love, and too bad the moon doesn't hang out here longer, and it is early in the morning. So great time if you want to be up early in the morning. 4:42 a.m. is the time when they come together, and that could be a good time to just send that love note, or just wish someone well, or do something very nice for someone. So I know it's early in the morning, so if you want to get up, and you can get up and do a nice prayer meditation for yourself or others might be also a good time to utilize that. To just be able to put our manifestation energy to work in a way that is just feels good. So also later in the afternoon, Mars new in Sagittarius is going to be squaring off with Saturn. So this is a time when the malefics are coming together in a square. So it might feel a little intense, and it's going to last for a little while. So, just something to be aware of Saturday afternoon. Just might not feel so good energetically. Might be a great time to, if you're a runner, to go out for a run, to be able to just find a way to release that energy as these two planets are squaring off with each other. You definitely want to be a little bit more careful as you're driving around. Just be more mindful, as it can be a very accident-prone energy. So just want to be on the lookout of just not putting yourself in positions that aren't in your best interest. So just forewarning you, and just be mindful. People are just going to be feeling a bit grumpy. So as people are feeling a bit grumpy and are feeling a little bit extra disruptive and argumentative, just be mindful. Give them some space, give them some grace, step back, do what you need to do for you and to take care of you and your needs. Sunday is going to be a little extra packed. Early in the morning, we've got the moon in Taurus, which is going to be coming together with Uranus. So if you are up at 3:02 a.m. Sunday morning, then expect the unexpected. There might be some unexpected breakthroughs emotionally. Also, if you're out driving around, just be extra mindful, because this could be, again, sudden things coming out of the blue. We don't want that to happen when we are driving. It also can mess up electronics, so it's kind of good that way also. All right, so electronics can also be a thing. So if you wake up and something's not working Sunday morning, that could have something to do with it. Also, on Sunday morning, the moon is going to be sextile with Neptune, so a nice dreamy aspect. Might not be a time to be very productive, so extra time to dream, to journal, to sip some tea, socialize with a friend. Continue to work on those nurturing self-care things that the moon in Taurus just loves us to be able to do. It's going to be trining off, the moon's going to be trining Pluto about 4:51 p.m. and that could also bring a time, excuse me. All right, so also on Sunday, the moon is going to be trining Pluto, and that can also bring some depths. So maybe there's some things that are coming to the surface that you weren't aware of. Maybe you find out about an old story of an ancestor that did something that you didn't know of before, or something along those lines. So it can be very ancestral. It can be just things that are not usually seen or heard, or just those deep resources coming up and being surfaced, and being able to feel into them. So it can be a good time to do any type of shamanic work, some shamanic journeying, and just kind of going in a little bit deep into the underworld. Great time to be able to do that Sunday afternoon before the moon goes into Gemini at 7:39 p.m. So once the moon gets into Gemini, things are going to feel a lot more chatty, a lot less nurturing. So just be prepared for that. So Sunday evening, things are just going to take on a new mental activity of how that's going to come through. We might all of a sudden want to like dig into our emails after a long Thanksgiving weekend, taking care of all of the writing those letters and catching up on things, getting our posts on social media, all of the pictures that we didn't get because we were so busy being with friends and family, all of the posts. Great time to just be able to do that sort of thing. Any of that mental or social work, Gemini is really, really good for. So the moon will be squaring off with Saturn later in the evening, and so again, that just might feel a little, you might feel a little depressed with that, but just once again, know that that will pass fairly quickly. Also, the later in the evening, Mercury is going to be trining with the North Node in Aries, and so that just might really bring some aha moments to us of just new ideas and innovations and ways that we might want to explore moving forward. Being able to see perhaps a new adventure or a new way of doing something that just feels right for a new direction in your life. So that can be rather meaningful. So if you get any hits around that later in the evening on Sunday night. And then last but not least, the moon in Gemini will be opposing Mars in Sagittarius. And so that opposition can bring some back and forth energy between my emotional needs and what I should actually be doing and putting out there, and how do I take care of myself to give myself the rest that I need when I feel like I have so much that I need to do. So it might be, you might want to get the melatonin out Sunday night. It might be with the Gemini energy, and then with the opposition to Mars, it might be really difficult to unwind. So just letting you know, Sunday you might want to take some added melatonin or some magnesium or just something to help your mind rest. Ashwagandha, you know what I'm saying. So just letting you know now. So I do hope that you did enjoy the week ahead, and hopefully some of these highlights will be helpful for you. If this is something that you enjoy, make sure that you click like and subscribe so you get them moving forward. Also, something that I'm working on is a moon planning calendar so that you can plan the best time to do various activities based on the moon in the sky, as well as and how that affects your moon and your chart within. So if that's something that you would like to learn more about, make sure you go on over to my website and sign up for my newsletter, as that will absolutely be released once that is ready, and let you know how to be able to get into that program. So it'll be a nice short course, and it'll just be a fun way to explore the moon cycles together. All right, till next time, I hope you have a fantastic week. Also, if any of these things that I've mentioned really resonate with you over the week, please feel free to give me some comments. I'd love to hear about some of these and how they affected you. And yeah, you take care, everybody.